What's the dumbest rule you've ever seen someone break? And what happened next? Back in high school, we had this absolutely ridiculous rule in gym class. No running on the track unless a teacher was present. Yep, you read that right. A track specifically designed for running was essentially off limits unless it was supervised. Everyone thought it was stupid, but most of us just shrugged it off and jogged when the teachers weren't looking. That is, until Kevin, the guy who was always a little too enthusiastic about testing the system, decided to push it to the absolute limit. One day, during gym class, the teacher had to step away for a few minutes to grab some paperwork. Naturally, this left a group of bored teenagers unsupervised on the track. Kevin, always the instigator, suddenly had a flash of inspiration, or insanity, depending on how you look at it. He ran to the gym storage room and came back with one of those massive inflatable exercise balls. You know, the kind that's almost impossible to control, even when you're trying. His genius plan? To stage his own personal track and field event. But instead of just running, he climbed onto the ball and had two of his friends push him as fast as they could around the track, screaming like a maniac the whole time. Within seconds, he had an entire audience. Everyone stopped what they were doing to watch this human hamster ball spectacle unfold. At first, it was hilarious. Kevin was wobbling and yelling, and we were all cheering him on like he was competing in the Olympics. But then, as it always does with Kevin, things went from funny to chaotic in record time. The ball started picking up speed, way more speed than anyone expected. Kevin couldn't control it, and his friends, instead of slowing him down, thought it would be hilarious to give him one final shove. That's when disaster struck. The ball veered off the track, heading straight for the bleachers. Kevin, still clinging on for dear life, slammed into the side of the bleachers, knocking over 2 trash cans and scattering Gatorade bottles everywhere. The crash was so loud that even people inside the school came out to see what had happened. But the ball wasn't done yet. It rolled free from Kevin, careened down the sidewalk, and somehow ended up in the parking lot. And then it hit a car. Not just any car, the principal's car. The entire class went silent as we realized what had just happened. Kevin, meanwhile, was lying on the ground, covered in Gatorade and trash, trying to process what had just transpired. The gym teacher returned at that exact moment and froze, staring at the carnage with an expression that can only be described as, "I'm too old for this." Kevin got detention for a week, had to personally apologize to the principal, who, surprisingly, didn't seem too mad about it, and was tasked with cleaning up the entire mess. But the rule? It got even more absurd. They banned exercise balls from gym class as if the ball was the real problem, and not Kevin's boundless creativity. What's wild is that Kevin became a legend after that. People couldn't stop talking about the great ball escape, and even years later, alumni would bring it up as one of the funniest moments in school history.